expressed satisfaction at the detention of Farooq Abdullah at the time of Article 370. What was the context of this?
The context was, if you remember, there were youngsters who were saying, अच्छा हुआ, इनको बंद ही रहना चाहिए, और बोलो जय माता की. याद है आपको? तो उस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में जब लोग गाली दे रहे थे बाहर, लड़के ऐसी बातें कर रहे थे, तो दुरानी साहब ने भी कहा अच्छा है बंद ही रहे. इसी दौरान उसकी किताब आ गई हमारी. उसने जब फॉरवर्ड देखा उस किताब का, तो कहने लगा मैं माफी चाहता हूँ, मेरे रिगार्ड दे देना डॉक्टर साहब को, मैं थैंक यू कर देना. ये है किस्सा.
और अब जिस पे इतना सारा controversies हो रही हैं कि in your book you're saying that Farooq Abdullah actually told you that you should have consulted with him and perhaps he could have helped.
Yeah, that's what he says. He should have been taken into confidence. Was there any need to lock us up? He was very hurt. The issue is the lockup. It was hurt. And if you read the book, I don't know if you have the book or if you... Yeah, then you haven't read it.
I have read it.
If two paragraphs before that, I have quoted the Indian Express and I have quoted from Home Minister Chidambaram also, in which he says this was a monumental blunder. So I've said that. So the question is, in the context of all this, in the context of the monumental blunder, and what the Express said, that locking up Farooq beggars belief, in that context, Farooq says to me, when he's terribly hurt, and he says, why did Delhi have to do this? Why was this necessary? Why did we have to be locked up? Huh? Is this what we deserve?
But then you also mentioned that...
Then he says, if we had been taken into confidence, maybe, the word is maybe, we might have helped.
That is the key word that everybody is picking on.
Maybe.
Did he mean that you would have helped watering down Article 370?
Of course not. Of course not. Did he ever say that? Did I ever say that? That's absolute bunkum. Some newspaper has picked it up and has made a big issue out of it. And now in Kashmir has made a big issue out of it. And two sides are taking two different things. Not intended like that. It's not that. This book is not a critique of Farooq Abdullah. Read it. It's a praise of Farooq Abdullah.
Correct. No, that does come out from the book. So I want to take you to 1990s when you say that your successor R.C. Mehta was coming in and you were being brought back to Delhi.
Yeah.
At that time, Farooq told you that look, I am not Sheikh. I do not want to spend 12 years in jail. I would rather want to help whoever is in Delhi.
You're absolutely right.
So
He said this not, if you read the earlier books, it's in some other book also. I've quoted this. Because this is an old story. It happened in 1990. And he especially called me. He said, come for tea. And he said, I'm not my father. I haven't joined politics to go to jail. My politics is very straight. I will be with whoever is in power in Delhi. And that is why his relationship was best with Devi Gowda. Because Devi Gowda never troubled him.
Does that also not give credence to the critics of Farooq Abdullah who say he's always sided with Delhi, not with Kashmir?
Not at all. Wrong.
Okay.
Today, unfortunately, this whole ruckus has come up and somebody should apologize for this. If you want me to apologize, I'll apologize. But if the point is, he is the tallest leader in Kashmir. He is Kashmir. I've said in the book.
You do mention that.
Then, isn't that clear? Have you read the foreword to this book?
I did, sir. I did. You also
Why don't you quote from that? Read the foreword.
I'm coming to that. So you also say that Delhi never understood him.
Of course it hasn't.
And hence...
Devi Gowda was the only one who understood him. And Devi Gowda said, he left him alone. He said, आप जो भी कर रहे हैं कश्मीर में ठीक कर रहे हैं. और ठीक ही हो रहा था तब.
You also say that he has been betrayed many times,
Of course.
the promise of
Of course.
So who promised him vice presidentship?
Well, what I witnessed was that Brajesh Mishra had mentioned it to him. But Dr. Saab says the Prime Minister and the Deputy Prime Minister also told him.
So this is also very interesting. You say in 1990s when all that turmoil was coming up, the relationship of Abdullahs with Kashmiri Pandits and the mistrust has always existed. What do you mean by that?
Oh, there is a mistrust. It goes back to Sheikh's arrest.
Could you elaborate upon that?
I can't. But I can tell you what Khalida once told me in 2014 when I was writing my first book. I said, what happened at that time? She said, we knew that something is going to happen. That Papa might be arrested. I said, how did you know that? She said, because people had started behaving differently. That is the story that I know.
Okay. So you also talk about his meeting with J.K. Elaf, which was, according to your book, aided by the Ivy, in which he actually gave Yasin Malik a piece of his mind on.
That's right.
You know? So,
Aided by the IB because he asked me, can I meet Yasin? I said, yeah. कैसे मैंने कहा आपके साथ एस्कॉर्ट भेजते हैं आप चले जाइए मिल लीजिए उससे मिले थे
क्या कहा था उन्होंने?
आई डोंट नो क्या कहा मैंने सुना काफी झाड़ा था आई डोंट नो क्या कहा तो वहाँ जहाँ वो बंद था फार्म हाउस में वहाँ की बात है आई डोंट नो क्या कहा था
And you also say that Yasin 2 दिन तक खाना नहीं खाया उसने.
वो कहानी है जो वहाँ के लोगों ने कहा.
You also say that he was actually goaded by Delhi to actually make way for Omar Abdullah when he was promised the vice presidentship. How did that affect the relationship between the father and the son?
No, it didn't affect the relationship. Farooq has been a very good father. There is no doubt about that. The only thing is that he thought it was very premature in 2002 to put Umar on that seat. He felt he needed more time. He needed more education. So Farooq's view was that he should serve with him in his cabinet, learn. And then after a year or two, he can take over. What's the rush? Why is Delhi hurrying? Farooq understood everything. Farooq understands politics. He understands Delhi better than anybody else. You know that.
Sir, there is a reference where you say that there are some reports which say that he was, Mr. Dr. Abdullah feels deeply hurt by your assertion that he privately agreed to the abrogation of Article 370.
I haven't said that. Show me the book. You haven't read the book?
No, sir, I read the news.
So that's why I'm saying the news is bunkum. It's crap. What can I do with the news? It's the news which has created this controversy.
Sir, what message do you hope readers will take away from your book regarding the complex political landscape of Jammu and Kashmir?
But this book is an appreciation of Farooq. That's all. It's not a critique of Farooq. Now you're making it out as to be a critic. इसका forward पढ़ लीजिए ना अगर मेरे पे शक है वो तो मैंने नहीं लिखा है तो नारायण साहब ने लिखा है उसको पढ़ दीजिए.
सर आपका ये इंटरेस्टिंग
नहीं मैं क्या कह रहा हूँ फॉरवर्ड पढ़ दीजिए ना.
अपने व्यूअर्स के लिए एक रुबिया सैयद और IC 814 का
हाँ वो इसका देखिए ये पुरानी कहानियां हैं. उसमें इशू एक ही था कि भाई Farooq had an opportunity to take us this thing at Delhi के आप हमें कहते रहते हैं हम गलतियां करते हैं हम ये करते हैं वो करते हैं आप क्या करते हैं. That was the point.
Was he averse to releasing those people at both instances?
In Rubaiya's case, certainly he was.
He didn't want to release them. At the time of IC 814?
814, he knew it would have to happen, but he created that.
So one last question. In Kashmir, there is a lot of furor about this entire controversy. Mehbooba Mufti is talking about it, saying that since you said it, that means it's true.
At least Mehbooba believes me.
She believes you.
No, obviously, you are saying Mehbooba believes me.
Yeah.
And Farooq doesn't believe me. That's what you are saying.
That's how it comes out at this point.
No, but that's what you are saying also. If that is so, then so be it.
Also, Sajjad Loan, he has jumped into the controversy saying you know,
So
we
ja-
always
the-
knew Farooq was like this.
Please, my point is, these are all friends. Whether it is Sajjad, whether it's Mehbooba's daughter, even Mo Iltija, and of course Dr. Saab is Dr. Saab. So if Dr. Saab says something, I will never contradict it. If he says I've made mistakes, then I must have made mistakes.
But the other friends are saying you have not.
So there you are. So make up your mind. Read the book. And I keep saying, read the foreword.
Okay.
पढ़िए ना उसको.